Okay. Hare Krishna, once again, welcome all of you for this Srimad Bhagavatham study class. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time. So it is the most auspicious activity of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So the first process in devotional service is Shravanam. So we are engaged in this process, and this is the prime. Unless we hear, we will not be able to progress in spiritual life. And that holds good for even in our material life. We are going to college, school, for what? We are hearing so many topics. But here, this topic is about the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So therefore, it is most auspicious. So we'll start with pranam mantras. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Sakshurunmilatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Sakshurunmilatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sarahana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sahana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishware Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vansha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskatya Deshatarine Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naran Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Okay, now I would like to request some volunteers to raise your hands and share a few points which you heard last week, interesting and striking to you, or which you liked. So if you can share some points, it would be nice. This will be a recap for all of us. So please volunteer and share. One point is enough. What was interesting to you? As I said in my previous class, I would like to have an interactive sessions with all of you. So please speak out.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, Lalita Mataji.
Amalam, spotless.
Yes, Srimad Bhagavatam is a spotless Purana, Amalam Purana. Very nice.
Sambandha, relationship with God.
Yeah, very nice. That
Then
Srimad
Abhidaya.
Bhagavatam creates Sambandha. Yeah, next.
Abhidaya, process
Yes,
by which we can establish the relationship like practical devotional service.
very
9
nice.
forms of devotional service.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Anyone else, please? Anyone else? Kindly share your thoughts. It should not happen that we heard something and then we forget about it, right? There is a phrase is there, "Iskon se uskan," right? That's not that's not what we should do. We should remember. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam means whatever we have heard, we should be able to remember. Hmm? We should meditate on it. Okay. Just by hearing first time, we will not be able to grasp. We have to hear couple of times again and again. Then we can, it will register strong in our mind. Yeah, anyone would like to?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams.
Um, Anandi Mata.
Nityam, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. For that you told, no, every day we should read at least a portion, and even if it be night, even if we sleep, also no problem by hearing Bhagavatam. That struck me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, at least one words, at least we should read. That's very important. Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. We recite this sloka every time before we start the class. Yeah, thank you. So, what did we discuss about why was this Srimad Bhagavatam written? Anyone remember? Why Srila Vyasadeva wrote Srimad Bhagavatam?
Because he felt it was not complete.
Exactly. Correct.
So,
Because he
with
felt,
Narada's instruction, Narada told him also, you have
yeah,
missed an important part of it, that is Krishna's Leelas.
yeah, very nice. Thank you. Your good name?
Shashikala. Shashikala
Shashikala
Rani. Shashikala
Shashikala
Rani.
Rani.
Yeah.
Shashikala Rani Mataji, thank you very much for.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, so I would suggest that please keep one notebook with you, right? At least you can write some points. You will not forget. Even if you forget, you can refer to the notes. Okay, so keep some notes and you can write few whatever points it is interesting for you. You can just note it down. It will be there. Okay, if you write, then it is like reading 10 times. It will register very nicely in our consciousness. Okay, so let's go ahead. So we have been discussing this. What is Srimad Bhagavatam? And also we discussed about the history of Srimad Bhagavatam and the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. And also we discussed a little bit about Srimad Bhagavatam is a revolution. So we'll further discuss on this subject matter. Okay, so just a minute. I will reshare. Yeah, you're able to see the screen? Hare Krishna, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Thank
Prabhu.
Yeah, we stopped it here, the last slide, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has proclaimed that Ramya Kasyit Upasana Vrajavadu Vargenava Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Puranam Amalam Prema Mahan. So he, according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srimad Bhagavatam is the highest because Puranam, it's Amalam, it's pure. Because why? Because it describes about the most confidential devotees, that is the gopis, how they worshipped Sri Krishna, and their worship are Radhiyo Bhagavan Vrajesa Tanaya. In the supreme worshipful Lord is Krishna and the son of Nanda Maharaj, and they worshipped. Nobody can be compared to the gopis. They completely surrendered their life for Krishna's satisfaction. Okay. Yeah. So now we will see. You read all. You have gone through. You have gone through the course of Bhagavad Gita for a long time. Now, what is the connection between Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita? It's very interesting to see this. So it is not that um, all these three scriptures are not different philosophies. We can see the connection here that the scriptural essence is Nama Sankirtan. In all the three scriptures we will find. In Kali Yuga, Krishna, Lord Krishna, what did he say in the 18th chapter? 66 words, it's written here. What is the ultimate instruction he gave to Arjun? It's a very famous verse. Sarvadharman Parityatya
सर्वधर्मान्
Mam.
परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा चुनि.
Yes, very nice. So Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So this is the ultimate instruction. So many things he gave. First he talked about all different kind of dharmas, you know, Brahmana dharma, Kshatriya dharma, Vaishya dharma, Shudra dharma, everything in detail. But ultimately he put a time bomb. What is that? Forget about all dharmas, they surrender unto me. I will protect
Yeah.
you. Right? So why Krishna said like that? Initially he said you have to do your duty, so many things. But the point here is that what is the purpose of doing all these duties? Ultimately to surrender to Krishna. Right? So if one may be doing all the prescribed duties properly, but if you are not surrendering or in the instructions he is given in Bhagavad Gita, then there is no point. So in Kali Yuga, especially surrender to Krishna is perfectly executed by performing congregational chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram.
Ram Ram Ram.
So this is the process by which, because it is said again, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyata. In this age of Kali, there is no other process except to chant the holy name, Nama Sankirtanam. So the holy name itself will destroy all sinful reactions. So Nama Sankirtanam is surrender in action. It's not theory. And therefore, it is said in the 11th chapter, 11th canto, 5th chapter, 32 sloka, the Yuga Dharma is mentioned, where the prediction of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there. Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishnam Sangopangasrada. So he is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Krishna himself, but he is not appearing, taking the color of Krishna. Yajna Sankirtana Praya Rajanti Sumedasaha. What he does congregational chanting of the holy name. So, by this we can understand there is a connection from Bhagavad Gita to Srimad Bhagavatam. Nama Sankirtanam is Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Samana Tam Namami Harim Param. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha Dravada. My devotees always keep chanting my glories. And so you can see the connection here from Bhagavad Gita to Bhagavatam. So that's why Bhagavad Gita is called graduate studies. Now you are all, those who have attended this Bhagavad Gita course, you are all now graduates. Now what you are going to do is post-graduation. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. You are studying Srimad Bhagavatam is a post-graduation study. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's mentioned that Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. So it reveals the deepest mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in all the other avatars, Krishna came in different avatars to kill the demons, and to protect the devotees, and he used all the weapons. But here in we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is not carrying any weapons. What is his weapons? Sango Pangastra. He has got all his confidential devotees, and they want to destroy the mentality, the sinful mentality of the people by chanting the holy names. So he is appearing. Krishna does not appear with weapons, but he appears as his holy name. Chanting is equal to seeing the Lord, touching the Lord, serving the Lord. So the Nama itself is the incarnation. And there is no pre-qualification required. Anybody can chant the holy name and get purified. So that is the essence. Nama Sankirtana is the essence. So the conclusion is what? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying 18.66, he is the only shelter. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that how to take shelter by Nama Sankirtana. So Nama Sankirtana is surrender, worship, purification, liberation, love of God, everything. So how wonderful, no? Just by chanting the 16 syllable mantra, you can achieve all these things. You don't have to complicate yourself by reciting so many Vedas, so many things which we cannot, ordinary common person cannot do that one. Maybe some people can do, but a common person cannot read all these difficult scriptures. But this, if he chants the holy name, that equals to getting all the credits of doing different process. And so here we see that Bhagavad Gita is instruction, Bhagavatam is illustration, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is internalization. So these are the foundational scriptures for our Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So it has got a perfect spiritual sequence. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Instruction, illustration, and internalization. So in Bhagavad Gita, surrender is commanded, and in the instructional is given by the spoken directly by Krishna. All the instruction is given in directly. Krishna spoke to Arjun. Through Arjun, we get the same message. Arjun was a confused soul. And what Gita establishes, who is Krishna, who am I, why surrender is necessary. And finally he says, Ma Sucha, don't fear, just surrender. I will protect you. But in Bhagavad Gita, it does not yet show how surrender looks in real life. And that is Bhagavatam is demonstrating. That is experiential expansion of the Gita. So therefore, we can say Srimad Bhagavatam is called the natural commentary on Bhagavad Gita. And what is the central theme in Bhagavad Gita? Can anyone guess? Say, what is the central theme in Bhagavad Gita? What is discussed in the middle section of the Bhagavad Gita? What is the theme there?
Bhakti Yoga.
Yes, thank you. Pure devotional service. Haituki apreta. So, Bhagavatam gives examples, and there are stories about kings, children, demons, sages, all. They practically demonstrated how to surrender to Krishna. So the example of Bali Maharaj is there. He is the he is the one who exemplified the sloka of 18.66. What Bali Maharaj did, anybody has heard the story of Bali Maharaj?
Yes.
What is that? What happened to Bali Maharaj?
Krishna went as a small sannyasi, and he asked for a land.
Correct.
So Bali Maharaj accepted, even though he was cautioned by his guru.
Yeah.
Because Krishna is the one who has come.
Correct. Very nice. Are you from Kerala?
No.
I am from Kerala.
Okay. So
Actually,
one of
it should be 3 steps of land.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3
He
steps
asked
of
only.
land.
Three.
He
Yeah.
asked for 3 steps
Then
of
Bali
land.
Maharaj was pushed to Patal Loka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With one step, he pushed him down.
Yeah. So Vamanadev incarnation. So he came to take all the possession of Bali Maharaj and give it to Indradev. So that's a long story. So, and then Bali Maharaj, he was so happy to surrender to to Vamanadev. So he gave everything because he was the king of the entire three planetary system. So he gave everything. So his surrender was tested. Hmm? So some people, in some people who don't have proper knowledge about Krishna, what they do in their house is they will have Krishna Vigraha and they will not put the flute in their hand. You know what is the reason? Some people have misconception about Krishna. Why they don't put a flute in the hand?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It's probably because they feel that the wealth that they have would vanish or would go away from
Yeah,
them.
correct. They think that Krishna will blow away all the possessions they have,
Yeah.
just like how he took all the wealth from Bali Maharaj. They think
Mhm.
that Krishna will take away all the possessions I have. So they are so attached, they don't want to give it to the Lord. So they don't put the flute. But that's a misconception. That's not correct actually. Anyway, so so Chaitanya and the Bhagavatam gives the devotee's life, how they actually surrender to Krishna. So there is story of Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, so many devotees, Gajendra Moksha is there. So many wonderful stories are there in Srimad Bhagavatam, how they surrendered to Krishna. Hmm? And Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, hmm? What happens is that surrender is tested in Charita. Surrender is tested in Srimad Bhagavatam. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, surrender is tested. It is an emotional and practical perfection of surrender. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Anyone knows?
Krishna.
Sorry? Yeah, he
Incarnation
is
of Krishna.
Krishna himself. Right.
Incarnation.
Yeah, in the mood of his
Reincarnation of
devotee.
Krishna.
Yeah. So he has come in the mood of his devotee. How
Mm.
to surrender with love. That's the core mood of surrender. Right? So, Trinadapi Sunichena Taroriva Sagishtuna. Humility, tolerance, dependence, constant chanting. These are all unique contribution of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He actually demonstrated, he took the role of a devotee and he practically demonstrated and tasted how by surrendering to Krishna taste the real spiritual bliss. So surrender is no longer duty or trial. Sometimes we think that, oh, I have to surrender everything. It's a very painful process. But if you are in a higher spiritual state, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is constantly chanting the holy name and in complete bliss. So when you come to the stage after reading Srimad Bhagavatam, when you start tasting Chaitanya Charitamrita, then you become surrender, become ecstatic love, expressed to Nama Sankirtan. Hmm? So Chaitanya Charitamrita reveals this is how surrender feels when the heart melts. So that is Chaitanya Charitamrita. So you understand the progression from Bhagavad Gita to Bhagavatam to Chaitanya Charitamrita. To give you the in summary, so Bhagavad Gita is the foundation which says command and then Krishna gives the command and also assurance. Surrender to me and do not fear. And Bhagavatam is expansion of Bhagavad Gita. So where devotees practically showed how to surrender to Krishna and their lives are tested, but still they did not give up the process of surrendering. Just like Bali Maharaj, even though Krishna took everything from him, he was protected by Krishna. Hmm? So that is Srimad Bhagavatam. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is the ultimate culmination, joyful, loving surrender. Hmm? So what is the final conclusion? The three scriptures speak one voice. Bhagavad Gita is surrender is the only path, and Srimad Bhagavatam is surrender never leads to loss. Right? So we may externally feel the devotees have undergo so many difficult situations like the Pandavas, but they never uh, lost anything. Krishna gave back everything. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, surrender is the greatest joy. So instruction, experience, and ecstasy. So when these three are studied together, a devotee no longer asks, should I surrender? What he will say? He naturally prays, my Lord, how can I surrender more? So this is the consciousness we want to come. Hmm? So it's a wonderful sequence here. By reading the scriptures, by hearing it, we gradually progress and come to a state where we can complete surrender, where we'll ask, my Lord, how can I surrender more? Hmm. So this is the ultimate thing. So Bhagavad Gita is graduate study, Srimad Bhagavatam is postgraduate, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is PhD.
No.
Yeah, right? So I want all of you, now 36 people are here. I want all of you to be come to this highest stage, PhD, right? So all of it is possible. All you have to hear attentively and try to practice it. That's all required. So now we see that in Prahlad Maharaj, he is giving a very wonderful instruction, practically how to surrender to Krishna, the nine Navalakshana Bhakti. So he says, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pumsarpito Vishnu Bhaktischa Navalakshana Kriyate Bhagavate Yada Tanmanye Aditam Uttamam. So he says, Shravana means hearing. Shravanam Kirtanam and chanting about the name and remembering Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, and offering respectful Vandanam, right? Offering prayers to the Lord and becoming Dasyam, Archanam Dasyam. And then like this, there are 9 different processes are there. And then Atma Nivedanam finally. So these 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. And through these 9 processes only, we actually engage in the service of the Lord. Now I have a quiz question for all of you. Maybe some of you are aware that who are these famous personalities who are famous for this devotional service? Who is famous for first Shravanam? Who perfected their life by hearing? Anyone knows? Just by hearing, their life became perfect.
Parishit Maharaj.
Exactly. That's what we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, who? That is by hearing Shravanam. Kirtanam, who is the example?
Sukadev Goswami.
Exactly. Very nice. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Who is the example for that?
Prahlad Maharaj.
Prahlad.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice. Did you see that movie Mahavatar? Anyone has seen that? There was a very nice movie came recently. Prahlad Maharaj story. Okay. So it's a wonderful movie. You should watch that. Okay. And serving the lotus feet of the Lord. Who's the example for that?
Lakshmi Devi.
Yeah, very nice. And who did deity worship?
Ambarish Maharaj.
Ritu Maharaj. Yeah. Okay. And who was example for praying?
Ambarish Maharaj.
No.
Akrura.
Yeah, very nice. Akrura. And who is becoming servant? Very famous.
Hanumanji.
Yes, very nice. And Sakya, friendship.
Arjun.
And last, complete surrender.
Gopikas.
No. Just now we discussed.
Mahabali.
Yes. So we see here in this, all this 9, there are 9 process, and each devotee exemplified the surrender process of surrender by engaging in 9 forms of devotional service. So after this, these first three are very important. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam are very, very important. Okay. So now, so Bali Maharaj is the epitome of Sharanagati, surrender. He is a perfect example for Sarvadharman Parityatya Mamekam Sharanam. He is Atma Nivedam, highest form of bhakti. So he asked Vamanadev to place this third lotus footstep on my head. So he offered his wealth, he offered his power, but his own body and self also he offered. So why is it important? Bhagavatam needs one perfect historical example of total surrender, and that is Bali Maharaj. He perfectly fulfilled that role. So it connects Srimad Bhagavatam directly to Bhagavad Gita, 18.66 Sloka, Sarvadharman Parityatya. So if Prahlad teaches us faith under persecution, Bali Maharaj teaches us faith under apparent betrayal. Actually, Vamanadev cheated. No, he came as a small boy, but then he expanded himself into very huge form. So that's a cheating. But that's a lesson is indispensable for devotees for aspiring for pure surrender. Sometimes devotees get confused. I am doing devotional service, but Krishna is giving me so many tests. Right? We get some confusion. But that is a sign of surrender. That means Krishna is accepting your surrender. Okay, we discussed this point in the last class also. Srimad Bhagavatam reveals three subject matters. Bhagavan, that is Sambandha, Bhakti, that is Abhideya, and Prema, Prayojana. Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. These three things are very, very important. So Sambandha means everything, whatever we are doing in spiritual life can be brought under these three headings. Complete philosophical framework of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam established the three realities. Who is the absolute truth? What is our real duty? And what is the final goal of life? These three are known as Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Right? If we are following any path and if we are not having answers for these three questions, that means our process is not correct actually. Right? You should have clear answers for these three questions. Sambandha, knowledge of relationship. First of all, you should know who is God. Then only you can have a developed relationship, sambandha. Na? You cannot develop a relationship without a person, right? If you want to develop a relationship, there should be some second person should be there. So the absolute truth is Krishna is a person. So without sambandha jnana, spiritual practice becomes sentimental or misguided. There is a very interesting story about it. One time, there was one sadhu. He was invited to give a lecture by a few in the villages. So they went and asked sadhu, please come. We want to know speak something about God. We want to know about God. And so he came there, and then he sat on the stage, and then he asked this question: do all of you believe in God? So no one raised their hands. And then he again asked all of those who believed in God, please raise your hands. And no one raised hands. So he said, oh, none of you believe in God. So there is no point in speaking. So he went away. So the villagers were very disappointed because they wanted to hear something, but that didn't happen. So again, they made a second attempt. Please come and speak. So again, he came, and then he asked the same question, that do you all of you believe in God? Please raise your hands. And everyone invariably raised their hands. So he again said, now you all believe in God. So what is the point in speaking? So let me go. Again he went back. And then the third time, they were confused. And then next time they decided again to call him. And then when the sage asked the same question, what they did, those who are sitting on the left side, they raised their hands, and those who are sitting on the right side, they did not raise their hands. Then he said, all right, those who believe in God, half of the group, and you teach the other half, those who don't believe in God. In that way, again he put a googly. So there is no point of speaking. So again he went. So the interesting thing is actually what is that point is here is that 99.99% of people actually what is happening is we belong to this category because they cannot neither say they believe in God nor they can say that they don't believe in God. Some conception of God is there, but not sure. They're not atheists, but at the same, they are not theists also. Somewhere half baked in between. Am I correct? Is that correct? So many people are like that. So one time, what happened? One friend, he was an atheist actually. So he later on he became a doctor and he opened a clinic. And then he invited his friend also. He knows that this person is a atheist. But when he went there, he saw a very surprising thing. He called many brahmanas and he was doing all kinds of puja. Then the friend asked him, "Hey, you are an atheist and what you are doing this puja and everything?" So he said that actually I don't believe in God, but if God is there, let him be also be happy now. That is why I have invited these brahmanas to do some puja because something goes wrong, what will happen? So if God is there, let him be happy also. That's why I arranged. So that he will not get trouble, no? So that is the most of the people out of fear they want to go to temple or worship, do some puja like that, God fearing. And the second reason is that if you are an atheist, you are not respected. So that reason also is there. And also there are so many bogus preachers are there who are confusing the people. Hmm? So they give different kinds of philosophy to confuse the people. And there are famous gurus are there who say that they misinterpret and then they divert the people from the real understanding. So some people say that in actually India is a place where people only search for God. Not they are not believing, they are only searching. They don't have any conclusion. It is not correct actually. Bhagavatam says, yes, seeking is essential. Tasmat gurum prapatyate jignasu shreya uttamam. One should inquire about God. That is correct. But without authority, without following any proper method, you will lead to get to confusion. So therefore, Bhagavatam says, seeking God. Without Shastra is speculation. You cannot speculate about God. If you keep speculating about God, you will never come to any conclusion. So therefore, we must approach a proper, bona fide authorities to get a correct direction. So seeking without God, trying to understand about God is endless wandering. Hmm? So therefore, people never come around any proper conclusion at all. Hmm? And then this person also he says mukti is the goal. Actually, Bhagavatam smashes this. Liberation mukti is not the goal. That is only a byproduct. Bhagavatam gives a higher thing. Mukti hitpan anyat rupam swarupena vyavastita means real liberation means to revive one's eternal identity as servant of Bhagavan. It takes to the highest platform of surrendering, developing unalloyed pure bhakti towards God, and liberation automatically you will get. So devotee's goal is not mukti. Devotee's goal is what? To attain prema, love. Hmm? So that is not correct. Right? So devotees reject even mukti. Na dharmam, na artham, na kamam, na moksham. So mukti is not the goal. Mukti is the byproduct of bhakti, and prema is the prayojana. We say that sambandha, abhidaya, and prayojana. That is the ultimate goal, to attain pure love for Krishna. So therefore, Bhagavatam completely rejects that um, uh, we don't have to speculate about God. Why should we speculate about God? Because everything is there. Krishna, he said everything in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Anyone who reads Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam can easily come to a conclusion. They have a proper understanding about God. But if you don't understand these scriptures, you will never able to understand. And this person is very famous. He openly says, I never read Bhagavad Gita, but he says he comments about Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So how foolish is it is, right? Hypocrisy. If you are not read about Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, then why you are speaking about it? You should not speak about it, right? So, and we should not get confused about this word jargon they use, this inner engineering, self attainment, all these things. It is all confusing for people. It is very clear in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. All our acharyas, Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are not only seekers, they have come to the conclusion and they are given the conclusion also. Who is God? How to surrender to God? How to attain love of God? Everything is given. Then why should we speculate? If you don't have this knowledge, then you may speculate. But if everything is already given, then why need not have to speculate? Srimad Bhagavatam in the first sloka only established who is Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything emanates. Janmadi Yasyata, right? So if details are not there, we may speculate. But how much we can speculate? We have a tiny brain of a mosquito, right? If mosquito tries to understand the rocket science, is it possible? It's not possible, right? So we cannot, because God is infinite, Krishna is infinite. And with our tiny brain, how can we understand? We have to just accept Sadhu, Shastra, and Guru. So that is what required. And this person also says that we worship Lord Rama and Krishna because they went through all, they are human being and they went through all kind of tribulation, yet they were not disturbed. That is why we worship Rama and Krishna. He cannot even admit that Rama and Krishna are Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there are many millions of followers for this person. So we should be very careful about it, not to get misguided. In the name of spirituality, there are so many people are misguiding. So if you want to know about God, the book is there, the scriptures are there, the acharyas are there. We just have to accept it, that's all. And it becomes very simple. So Bhagavatam gives a very clear understanding about the Lord. So anyone who sincerely reads Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, he will not have any confusion at all. Okay, so that is Sambandha. There's a story also, interesting story, that many people in the name of spirituality, they blindly follow certain process. They don't know why they are doing and what is the purpose of doing, what is the goal of doing that. So once what happened, your king, he went to a forest for hunting and by chance, he lost the way and he was alone and he was not able to come back to his kingdom. And finally, somehow or other, by good fortune, he met one sadhu. And the sadhu, he gave a solution. He said that I have a very religious horse. You take this horse, and what you have to do, all you have to say is only two things. If you want to horse to move forward, run. All you have to say is thank God, thank God, thank God. And if you say thank God, the horse will go faster and faster. And if you want to stop, you have to say save me. So only these two mantras you have to learn. So the king was very happy, and he got up, got into the horseback, and started saying, "Thank God, thank God, thank God." And he became very ecstatic. The more he said, thank God, the horse was going speed, and it increases the speed. And suddenly he realized that the horse was going up the hill. Almost he reached the top of the hill, he was top of the cliff. He was about to fall down. And his ecstasy, he forgot the second word. What was the second word?
Save me.
Save me.
Save
He
me.
forgot this. Yeah, save me. And he desperately was trying to recollect some or other at the last moment, just one step before he remembered. He said, "Save me." And the stop and the horse obediently stopped. And he was very well, you know, relieved. And that relief, what he said, "Thank God" again. Now you can imagine what will happen. I don't have to say, right? So some people are like this. They blindly recite some mantras without knowing the purpose behind this. Hmm? And that's why like that, there are many people are there who don't without have any proper knowledge of God. And you see that many people, especially youngsters, when they go in front of the temple, they do some kind of, they will say this like this, they'll give a flying kiss, so many things they will do. But they don't have a proper understanding. They have faith, but the thing is, there's no one to guide them how to get a systematic understanding about God. So that is what lacking in our Sanatan Dharma, systematic understanding. So we should not blindly follow something, but we should systematically learn. So how many of you have how many of you are here? Some of you may be engineers, doctors, professionals. So how did you become a professional? Just by hearing something here and there,
Learning.
or something, sorry?
No.
Learning, Ji. Only learning.
Yeah, you did a systematic learning, correct?
Yeah.
You went to the school, you studied hard, you wrote exams, and you read so many assignments. After finishing 12, 14 years, your school education, again 4, 5 years, your college education, finally you achieved your degree. So much effort you have put to become an engineer or doctor or whatever. But is it possible to understand about God without giving sufficient time? How much time
No.
we are giving? Yeah, we don't give. So we some or other we gather here and there some message, and then we develop some understanding, but that will not help for the long run. If you have to understand about God properly, you have to do a systematic study. That's why we are conducting these courses. So ISKCON is not just a temple. It is a university. It is a university which gives systematic knowledge to general mass of people. Such people should take advantage of this. Systematic learning. Okay. So Sambandha, Abhidya and Prayojana, we have to learn it very systematic. Okay. So how Bhagavatam is a revolution. Here we see that Prabhupada writes in the introduction that human societies at the present moment is not in the darkness of oblivion. It has made rapid progress in the field of material comforts, education and economic development. It is the Bhagavatam diagnoses the real disease, the real problem. So unless we diagnose, we cannot have peace. It's like if you have some illness, the doctor has to diagnose first. What is the root cause for it? In the modern civilization, we have all kinds of comfort. We are very proud. We have gone to moon. We have highest education. Now we are saying we have become the fourth largest economy. But paradoxically, we see that what is happening? Quarrels are increasing. People are becoming more anxiety. Even for small trivial issues, it becomes a big conflict. So it is not that material insufficiency. People have enough money, or many people have sufficient money, but inner disunity. They are not having a peaceful time, even within the family. Even within the family, husband, wife, children, there is no proper relationship. And there is always a problem. Prabhupada mentioned pinprick in the social body. There is always some kind of infection which disturbs the whole body. So the defect is what? Human values and purpose destabilize their society. So they don't have a spiritual vision, loss of spiritual vision. They don't have a clear idea about God, forgetfulness of the Supreme Lord. So when the center is missing, the parts get collided instead of cooperating. So therefore, there are conflicts are there even for small issues. I'm sure all of you will agree with me. Do you have any? Do you go through such conflicts in your house, office, professional, friends? It's happening or not?
Yes.
Hmm?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. People are not able to live peacefully within the family members. The children are not nowadays. Children are not ready to listen to the parents once they are about once about 8th standard, 9th standard. They start arguing, right? For even simple things. You can see a generation gap is there. So what is the issue? What is the problem? The problem is that unless you have a proper relationship with God, you will not have proper relationship with anyone. First, you have to establish your relationship with God properly. Hmm? So when God is the center, then unity becomes natural, not forced. So Srimad Bhagavatam gives the solution. Prabhupada says Srimad Bhagavatam will fulfill this need because Srimad Bhagavatam re-established God at the center of life, and it teaches how to love God, not fear or dogma. It is a universal process, hearing or chanting. So human Srimad Bhagavatam does not divide humanity, it re-spiritualizes it. So I was in Sri Lanka for some time in the month of October. We went for the yatra, uh, Kartik Yatra, and there were 75 devotees came from China, Chinese people. I will post the video in the group later. And you will not believe how much they are taken up this process, how much they are so grateful that they are got this wonderful opportunity to chant, to hear Bhagavad Gita, to read Srimad Bhagavatam. This is amazing. So anyone who genuinely read Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, there will be a great transformation in their heart. They will become joyful, happy. That is a symptom. Because all your misgivings have gone. All the troubles in your heart is gone. Hmm? So that is the effect of Srimad Bhagavatam. So anyone who is not unhappy, it is because of this reason. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, uh, anyone who is not connected to him, he will not have peace of mind. And if he does not have peace of mind, he will not have. The reason is that because he is not connected to him. And peace is not there, how he will be happy. So we may have all kinds of material comforts, but the inner peace is not there, satisfaction is not there. And Bhagavatam will fulfill that one. So that is stated here. On the other hand, that literature is full with descriptions of transcendental glories of the name, fame, form, and pastimes. Supreme Lord is a transcendental creation meant for to bring about a revolution in the impious life of the misdirected civilization. So the civilization is going in a wrong direction, and Bhagavatam is going to it's going to create a revolution. It's going to give a clear light. What is the real path we have to follow? And that is the scripture. Tadva Visargo, a new kind of creation. So this Bhagavatam is therefore a spiritual act, not a literary exercise. So Janataga Viplavo, a revolution against sinful life. Nowadays, people are not believing that, they are not thinking whether I should do it or not, should not do it. They are not thinking any pros and cons. Whatever they feel like, they will do. There's a common saying is there, just do it whatever you feel. Right? Don't follow anything, anyone. Whatever you feel right, you should do it. This is very dangerous. So if a person is doing sinful activity, how can he be happy? He has to face the consequences. So Bhagavatam is meant to shake, disturb, and overturn sinful, godless civilization. So it's a revolution of consciousness. So it is not a polished one, it's a powerful one. Hmm? So even though one may find some defects, but still Bhagavatam is perfect because Namani Anantasya Yasha Ankitani, because it is filled with the holy names, the glories, fame of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, Bhagavatam carries Krishna himself in the sound form. So that's what Srimad Bhagavatam, and we are seeing practically. Can you imagine Americans, Europeans, Chinese? Huh? All these people are reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, they are chanting Hare Krishna, they are wearing dhoti, kurta, they are putting tilaka. Can you imagine? It has never happened in the history. How it happened? Because of Bhagavatam. So what I am talking is not only theory, it is very practical. So to give you a summary of what is Srimad Bhagavatam, it has got 12 cantos, 335 chapters and 18,000 slokas are there. So this is just for information. We will be going through the first sloka from next class onwards. So what's described in Srimad Bhagavatam is this 10 subject matters. And Bhagavatam is Lord Krishna's body. If you see all the 12 cantos, it is Swarupa, the Swarupa of Bhagavatam. The Lord Lotus feet is the first and second canto. The third and fourth, it represents Krishna's thighs. The fifth is Krishna's navel. Sixth is his chest. The seventh canto is his, what's mentioned, I can see here.
Arms.
Anus, yeah, okay. Eighth canto is arms. Ninth canto is thighs. 10th is lotus feet. 11th canto is his forehead. And the 12th canto is head. Right? In Padma Purana, it is described how the Srimad Bhagavatam is itself is not just book, it is Krishna himself. So when you see the Lord, you have to see from the bottom, from the lotus feet first, and then come to the higher and higher stage. So Srimad Bhagavatam gradually takes the reader from meditating on Krishna's lotus feet and gradually up to seeing the lotus face. So it is not a symbolic poetry. Bhagavatam is exactly Krishna's body as it is, Bhagavat Swarupa. So this is core Bhagavat principle. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela and Grantha are not different from Krishna. So to read Bhagavatam is to associate with Krishna directly. And to hear Bhagavatam is to touch his transcendental limbs. So that's why it is very important. All of you should have Srimad Bhagavatam at your house. It is because it is not different from Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is worshipped actually. So don't just think that it is an ordinary book made of papers because it has got the sound vibration. So try to get a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course, it is there available in online also. I will share the link for your reference, but I would strongly recommend that all of you please invest on this. You may say, find it is very expensive, but it is worth because it cannot be compared with any material opulence. We have so many costly gadgets in our house. People spend thousands and thousands of rupees for just taking one bike, purchase one phone. But what the phone can give, Bhagavatam can completely transform your life, right? So that is the potency of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, now Bhagavatam has got, there are 10 division statements are there. There are 10 subject matters are described in Bhagavatam. First is creation, and then there is a sub-creation. I'm not going in detail. We will be discussing in the classes. The third subject matter is planetary systems, and then the protection, how the Lord give the protection, Poshana. This is called the fourth subject matter. And there are stories about Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, so many, how Krishna protect the devotees. And there are creative impetus, Uti. So means there are different activities performed by the conditioned souls. So these are described. And then the change of different manus. These are described. The manvantras, and there are different manus are there. And then the signs of God, Ishanukata, means there is about the incarnations, the different incarnations in the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And Nirodha means how finally the Lord dissolutions, means creation, maintenance, and destruction. How the destruction happens, that is also described in Srimad Bhagavatam. And finally, returning back to God. So, and the Sammam Bonam is the 10th canto, Ashraya, final surrender to the Supreme Personality of God. So, these 10 subject matters is what create in the Srimad Bhagavatam. To give in essence, this is the picture where all you can see this 10 subject matters is there. So, in detail. So, that is why Srimad Bhagavatam is such a wonderful scriptures. So now how to study Srimad Bhagavatam is by step. We have to go from first canto to second canto until we come to the 12th canto. We should not jump here and there. Of course, we can read some stories and other things, but the proper process is go from first canto to second canto, third canto, and come to the 10th canto, where Krishna's Leela is described fully. So, seeking Lord Krishna in person. This is the ultimate. Can you someone read this?
Simple hearing is not all. One must realize the text with proper attention. The word nivishta means that Sutta Goswami drank the juice of Bhagavatam through his ears. That is a real process of receiving Bhagavatam. One should hear with rapt attention from the real person, and then he can at once realize the presence of Lord Krishna in every page. The secret of knowing Bhagavatam is mentioned here. No one can give rapt attention who is not pure in mind. No one can be pure in mind who is not pure in action. No one can be pure in action who is not pure in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. But somehow or other, if someone hears with the rapt attention from the right person, or at the very beginning, one can assuredly see Lord Krishna in person in the pages of Bhagavatam.
Yes. So this is how Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam must be heard. It is Prabhupada writes in the purport that how we should be attentively hear Srimad Bhagavatam. And if you do that, actually you can see Sri Krishna in every page of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is assured. So it is the verdict of the Acharya. Okay. So you don't have to go here and there to know about God. So everything is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Just like you go to the supermarket, in hypermarket, you get everything at one shop, right? So whatever you want to know about God, everything is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are going to start from next sloka. This is the first sloka. I am not going detail now. It's time up already. But we will discuss this from this next week, and I will send you the link. Please study this Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, first chapter, first sloka, and then read the purport also. Note down some points that are interesting, and we will discuss in the next class. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If you have
Thank
any
you.
questions, if you have any questions or you want to share something, you're welcome. Hope it was interesting, not
Yes.
making you sleep.
No, not at all. Thank you.
Okay. So
Thank you.
no questions, no sharing points. Okay, I hope it's clear. I don't know, I'm going fast or
No.
it's okay, it's understandable, right? Okay, you
Yes.
are free to always raise your hand and ask for a question, or you can comment, you can do chat also, or you can in the group also. Thank you so much for joining once again. We will see you next week, same time, and in between, you can also post your questions in the group if you have anything not able to ask now, and I will try to answer that. And also some videos I'll post it. You can see in relation with the next week class. Okay, so kindly do this reading of first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, first sloka. I will share the link. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavanda ki jai. Vancha
Thank
kalpatarubhyasya
you.
kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.